Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is another installment of my series on arithmetic lessons. Today we're going to do multiplication. And to do multiplication, one of the things that's helpful is that you buy one of these peaches, if you can find them in any of the stores. I don't know if they're still in print, but they were useful to me because these peaches have some useful information for those of us who are not useful idiots. And down here you have a multiplication table, and you use this multiplication table. You can go down the column of 6, go by 5, and 6 times 5 is 30. You go to 8 times 7, that's 56, and so on and so forth. And when you're bored and you have nothing else to do, you can spend your time staring at it so you can learn and memorize what all the multiples are of the single digit numbers that we are using when we do this multiplication. And once you know that, then it helps you to do this. Now, our first example of the technique that I learned, we're not going to draw squares and rectangles all over the sheet of paper. We're just going to do it the old-fashioned way that was taught to me when I was in school, is 5,280 times 12. How do we do this? 0 times 2 is 0. We put a 0 here, as you can see. 8 times 2 is 16. We put a 6 here. And we carry the 1 up here. 2 times 2 is 4, plus the 1 is 5. We put a 5 here. And 5 times 2 is 10. So we put a 10 over here. So 5,280 times 2 is 10,560. And then we multiply the 5,280 by the 10. Well, 0 times 1 is 0. And of course, 8 times 1 is 8, because anything times 1 is that anything. 2 times 1 is 2. And 5 times 1 is 5. And then we draw a line down here. And we put a little plus sign here if we feel like it. And we add these two numbers to get 5,280 times 12. You basically multiply, adding 5,280 times 2 plus 5,280 times 10. And what do we get? Well, the 0 is 0. 6 plus 0 is 6. 5 plus 8 is 13. We carry the 1 up here. 1 plus 2 is 3. And 1 plus 5 is 6. So 5,280 times 12 is 63,360. And that's our first example. Now our second example involves a decimal function to show you how we do this. Now 5 times 4 is 20, but where do we put the 0? Well, let's see. We got hundredths times tenths. And hundredth times a tenth is 1,000. So we go to the thousandth. 5 times 4 is 20. We put the 0 over here in the thousandth. And then we carry the 2 up here above the 7. 7 times 4 is 28, plus 2 gives us 30. Right there. And we carry the 3 over here. 3 times 4 is 12, plus the 3 is 15. And we put the 5 right there behind the decimal point. And we carry the 1 over the 6 because it's 15. 6 times 4 is 24, plus the 1 is 25. So 63.75 times 0.4 is 25.5. And then we multiply it by 5. 5 times 5 is 25, and that's hundredths. Put that there. And we carry the 2 over here. 7 times 5 is 35, 37th. We put that there. And we carry the 3 again. 3 times 5 is 15. Plus the 3 is 18. So we put an 8 there and carry the 1. 6 times 5 is 30. Plus the 1 is 31. We put that there. And so 63.75 times 5 is 318.75. And then we multiply it by 20. 5 times 2 is 10. We put a 0 here. We carry the 1 instead of a 2. 7 times 2 is 14, plus the 1 is 15. We carry a 1 instead of the 3 because we're done with the 3. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7, which we carry nothing over. 6 times 2 is 12. And we put the 2 here and the 1 over here. So 63.75 times 20 is 1,275. And how do we add it up? Well, let's see. We got the 5 in the hundredths. We have nothing in the thousands because that's a 0. 5 plus 7 is 12. We carry the 1 up here. 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 plus 8 is 14. 14 plus 5 is 19. So we have a 9 here. And we carry the 1 up here. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 7 is 11. We have a 1 there. We carry the 1 here. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. We put a 6 here. And then we have the 1 here. So 63.75 times 25.4 is 1,619.25. And that's one example. We had another example I would like to show you just how useful this is. Let me get the paper loose. And this is a temperature conversion example. What we have here is a temperature in Celsius, 35.6, and we want to convert it to Fahrenheit. Well, the way you convert a temperature in Celsius to Fahrenheit is that you multiply it by 1.8 and then you add 32, because a Celsius size degree is equal to 1.8 Fahrenheit size degrees, and 0 Celsius is equal to 32 Fahrenheit, the freezing point of water. So we do this again. Well, these are the tenths by tenths, and the result is hundredths. 6 times 8 is 48, and that's 48 hundredths. We put the 8 here. We carry the 4 over here. 5 times 8 is 40, plus the 4 is 44, so we have that. We carry the 4 again over here. 3 times 8 is 24. 24 plus 4 is 28. So we have that there. And then, of course, we have 35.6 times 1, which is equal to 35.6. So we carry this down here. And then we can add these up to get the total of 35.6 times 1.8. Well, we have the 8 here in the hundredths. Put it down here. 4 plus 6 is 10. You see. And then we carry the 1 over here. 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 plus 5 is 14. We carry the 1 again. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. So we have the 6. And then we just add the 32. Well, 0.8 comes down here. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. And so 35.6 Celsius is equivalent to 96.08 Fahrenheit. This might be useful if you're at a hospital and a clinic. They measure your temperature in Celsius and you want to know what it is in Fahrenheit. You can fairly quickly convert from Celsius to Fahrenheit once you get good at this. And I have a final example. And this is a doozer. Here's a really large number multiplied by a large number. The number is 186,282.4 times 86,400. Well, that's pretty impressive. Well, but we can do this. We can do this with this method. That's the advantage of this method that I was taught in grade school when I went to the Federal Way Public Schools back in the 1960s over this business of drawing squares and rectangles all over the sheet of paper. You can do big complicated problems such as this. First we have the 0.4 times 0. Well, that's 0. 0.4 times 10, the 10's 0. Well, it's still 0. And we get over here, 0.4 times 4 is 16, which is in the tens. Okay, I'm going to use the Sharpie there. Carry the 1. And then we have 2 times 4, which is 8, plus the 1. And that gives us 9 in the hundreds. 8 times 4 is 32. And we put the 2 here. And we carry the 3 over here. We get carried away because we're going to do a lot of carrying. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 3 is 11. And we carry the 1 over here. 6 times 4 is 24, plus the 1 is 25. And we put the 5 here. And we carry the 2 over here. I'm using a little Sharpie because there's going to be 3 digits that we're carrying. 8 times 4 is 32, plus the 2 is 34. And we carry the 3 over here. 1 times 4 is 4, plus 3 is 7. So, 186,282.4 times 400 is 74,512,960. Now we multiply it by 6,000. 4 times 6 is 24. We put the 4 here. And we carry a 2 here. We're done with this 1. 2 times 6 is 12, plus the 2 is 14. Put the 4 there. And we carry the 1 over this 8 for the first time. 8 times 6 is 48, plus the 1 is 49. And since we're done with this 3, we substitute the 4 that we're now carrying. 2 times 6 is 12, plus the 4 is 16. So we put a 6 there and carry the 1. 6 times 6 is 36, plus the 1 is 37. And then we carry the 3 over the 8. We're done with that 2. 8 times 6 is 48, plus the 3 is 51. And when we are done with this 3, we carry the 5 over this 1. And 1 times 6 is 6, plus the 5 is 11. So we have that there. So 186,282.4 times 6,000 is 1,117,694,400. Billions and billions, as Carl Sagan used to say. Big numbers, but we can do this. Now, we have 0.4 times this 8. Well, that's 32, so we put the 2 over here. And we carry the 3 because we're done with that 2. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 3 is 19. So we have another 9 we put down here. And that's 19. We carry the 1. It's still a 1, so that's helpful. 8 times 8 is 64, plus the 1 is 65. We put a 5 here. And then we carry the 6 over this 2. We're done with the other numbers that we carried. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 6 is 22. So we put a 2 here. And now we carry the 2 over this 6, because we're done with the previous numbers. 6 times 8 is 48, plus the 2 is 50. So we put a 0 here. And we carry a 5 here, because these numbers are starting to get a bit big. 8 times 8 is 64, plus the 5 is 69. So we put a 9 here. And we carry the 6 over here because we're done with these other numbers. 1 times 8 is 8, plus 6 is 14. We have the 4 here and the 1. So it's like 14,902,592,000 to get 186,282.4 times 80,000. Now to get the whole thing together, we all add it up. Well, we got the 0 here, we got the 0 in the ones, we got a 6 here in the tens. 9 plus 4 is 13. Carry the 1 over here. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 plus 2 is 9. 1 plus 9 is 10. Plus 9 is 19. We carry the 1 over here. 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 5 is 17. We carry the 1 over here. 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 plus 7 is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14. We carry the 1 again. 7 plus 1 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. We have a 9 here. 1 plus 9 is 10. We put a 0 there. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus 4 is 6. And we have the 1. So 186,282.4 times 86,400 is 16,094,799,360. So, yes, with this method, you can do difficult and complicated math such as this. Well, that's our lesson in multiplication. Have a nice day. Watch my other videos. And I'll eventually get to doing my division and my square roots, and I have videos on addition and subtraction. So these are my lessons in arithmetic, and have a nice day.